r/AskReddit, what's something illegal that you feel should be legal? Downloading old game ROMs that aren't sold anymore. Just being able to carry a water bottle through airport security so I don't have to buy another one. Euthanasia. Relatively small amounts of marijuana is still a felony in my state, even though I can buy it legally from a store in another state 30 miles away. And yet our bar parking lots are packed every night, and that's cool. Abortion. Being topless in public. It's such a double standard that guys can but ladies can't. Prostitution. Putting money into other people's parking meters. Psychedelics. Pretty much all consensual crimes. If everyone involved is an adult, what the fuck does it matter? Psychedelics. Mercy killing. There's no reason for a 110-year whose friends and family all died or left to be alive if they can't move on their own and wants to die. If they want to die, let them, they're only suffering. Abandoned property should lose trespassing protections, though urban explorers should also have to formally indicate and receive approval to explore said areas and sign waivers saying that said exploration is at their own risk before going to such places. Probably most conveniently at the local police station or county sheriff's office. Skamania County, Washington, passed a law in 1969 deeming the slaying of Bigfoot to be a felony and punishable by 5 years in prison. The law was later amended, designating Bigfoot as an endangered species. I'ma get one day. Killing pedophiles. Weed. It's fucked up I can't smoke weed on my days off. Abortion. The entire argument against it is rooted in a religious interpretation of life, not a scientific one. It's preposterous to impose such a restriction based on that justification onto others that don't hold those same religious views. It should be something that is legally protected everywhere, and should a holder of religious beliefs that prohibits it, they should self-impose it and not seek abortions for themselves. Weed. Magic mushrooms. Drugs. There should be a 20-year limit on copyright protection. i.e., after 20 years music and movies are not illegal to download. Convenience fees for paying taxes and bills online. Pulling the tag off my mattress. Prostitution and brothels. Smoking dried plant material in the privacy of your home. Tax evasion, thumbs up. Asking this question over and over. Someone literally asked it yesterday. Putting a baby on board sticker on the back car window and having a baby seat in the car, even though you don't have kids. So if you get into an accident, guess who's getting treatment first by the EMS? Emulation of video games when the game publisher has not used it in forever. Donating to a peaceful protest in Canada. Ripping my own DVDs and Blu-rays to a server to host them to myself. Divorce while pregnant. No exceptions in MO. Homosexuality in my country. I just learned that apparently it is illegal for schools in some US states to allow kids to apply sunscreen at school, as it is considered an over-the-counter medication. So that one. Clean, respectful fistfights. Consenting adults paying for sex. Inflicting the same bodily harm on a convicted person as they did on their victim. Recreational usage of marijuana, carry limit up to 16 ounces. Weed in France. I work at a gas station. Every day I see old men and women who have had their lives ruined by decades of alcohol and tobacco. I sometimes question how my duty to sell them that shit is legal to begin with. And it makes me think, why the hell is marijuana so illegal? If I'm allowed to sell cartons of cigarettes to old folks every day, why can someone be put in jail for many years just for possessing a drug that is arguably less harmful than cigarettes? Forcing a loved one into a rehab. They might just go back on the streets as soon as they are released, but they don't seek help most of the time because they're sick with the disease and can't think normally. I know it's a slippery slope, but our family and friends are being possessed and we can only watch. Certain drugs for medical reasons. Emulation of video games when the game publisher has not used it in forever. Putting a bullet between Vladimir Putin's eyes. Hit children. As a general rule, you shouldn't. If they can't act as humans, they need it because they weren't taught by their parents. Otherwise they just think that they will get away with anything, including murder. By law, the spouses of US citizens can't automatically come to the US without a green card/visa, if someone's not a criminal and they can prove they're married to a US citizen, they should be allowed in the USA unrestricted. Growing your own marijuana, tax-free, just like growing Zellwood corn. Post-86 machine guns. Cannabis, prostitution, transformacy, copyright infringement. Happy ending massage. A place where drug addicts can use under medical supervision and away from the streets so they don't bother anyone. Something legal in one state isn't in another. Like recreational marijuana. I think the whole idea of separating state laws is so stupid. Like, remember when gays could get married in one state but not the other? But poof. It's okay once they cross the state border because wow. Now they're married. Our nation is so brain dead. Referring to USA. The cost of parking at a hospital is criminal. I feel like a lot of vigilante justice or mob justice could be very necessary and helpful, but I can totally understand how it would get out of hand. Living in trailer on land, depends on local ties. To pirate any movie that the community sees as shit for punishment. YouTube ads should be made illegal by now. Then make it legal with no ads. YouTube. Prostitution. Voting at the age of 16, Australia. Graffiti. Steroids and growth hormone. Live in N.H. Marijuana. Prostitution. Weed. Rocking the shit out of unlawful squatters. Sex work. Masturbating in public. All drugs, including fentanyl. It's a medical problem, not a legal problem. And yes, fentanyl is the devil. Just good old-fashioned fighting as long as everyone understands the limit. All consensual crimes. Hiring a sex worker. You should be able to take at least $20 out of abusers' bank accounts for emotional/physical/financial/etc. damage. Plans. Deportation. The thwarting of evil men. Holding people to account for their religious beliefs. The get-out-of-jail-free card is just obscene with zero evidence. Drugs. Safe places to use. I do not, but have lost many people due to lack of resources. A woman's right to make decisions about her body and her health in all 50 states. I know. Wild shit. All drugs. Peaceful protest in the UK. Smoking weed in my own home. Even if you're in a legalized state, it's still a federal offense, USA. To kill your spouse if you catch them in flagrante delicto. Prostitution, people do it anyways, at least it was legal, it might be safer. Yes, it's gross, but so is a ton of other things these days. Sex work. Marijuana. Prostitution. Tax evasion, at least in the U.S. Duels. I think the drinking age should be 18 again. I'm in my 50s. Being naked. Humans have been naked for most of the species' existence. We are the only animals that wear clothes, and being your natural self should not get you thrown in prison. Scratching a car deliberately taking up 2 spots. Running shitty drivers off the road. Artisanal mining, especially on state-owned property. Drive with the lights on in the car. I wish I could legally follow laws, especially ones that aren't used very often. Collecting rainwater, illegal in several states. Pot. Smoking pot. Weed. TikTok influencers. Gardening in my front yard. Living in the wilderness. Humanity has done it for most of its existence, so why can't we now? Policing. Money. Win MX. All drugs. This would dismantle drug cartels, it would make the consumption safer, the state would generate tax income which can be used for safer use and prevention. Removing, killing, harassing, and clan massacre of blackmailing people, corrupt politicians. Heroin use. Prostitution. I get that it's against the law predominantly for tax reasons, but come on. If you can legally have sex with somebody, then you should be able to exchange money too. Having sex while being underage, with an underage person. All this age of consent shit is so annoying. Someone's ex could easily blackmail their ex for a rape, since they can say he/she raped you, like bro, come on. US railroad workers striking. All drugs should be at least decriminalized. The focus should be on treating addicts. Also, the criminal elements of the drug world relate to stigma for addicts and then violence and other crimes on the part of sellers. So remove the stigma by making it a treatment focus and provide access to clean drugs and most addicts will recover. As for the dealers, if there is money to be made there will always be a black market trade, but reducing the need to buy drugs illegally should in theory reduce crime, but considering most dealers are involved with gang activity that is a whole other topic. Weed. Weed. Recreational drugs. They should be regulated to safe doses, of course. Honestly, I still don't understand why is unaliving oneself a crime under law. Feeding homeless people. Weed. In Australia, recreational weed. Helping your neighbors not to die somehow. Assisted suicide, end-of-life assistance. Having casual road beers in the passenger seat while your wife drives. Mercy killing telemarketers. Stuff should enter the public domain much earlier. Existing as a trans person in Florida, thumbs up. Psychedelics, jaywalking, sex work, it should be heavily regulated to protect the safety of sex workers, plus anything that cities criminalize for the sake of making homeless people's lives more difficult. Cannabis. Drugs. Smoking dried grass. Getting news on Facebook. Trans people using bathrooms. In all seriousness, prostitution. Safer for the sex worker, safer for humanity. No reason that sex work between consenting adults should be illegal beyond some misguided puritanical notion of sin, whatever that is. Making sex work illegal jeopardizes the lives of those who practice it, while monetizing and prioritizing sex trafficking. No one wins but pimps and corrupt cops. Some light drugs like marijuana. Alcohol's legal, and I would much rather bump into a high person than a drunk person. A drunk person will attack me, a high person will have a laugh with me and walk away. Feeding homeless people. Cheating on taxes, woman shrugging. Drugs should be regulated and controlled, but some of them, like marijuana, should never have been made illegal outright. Wi-Fi. Punching Trump in the face repeatedly with a shovel. Drugs. Having them illegal does more harm than good. The main criticism I hear for this argument is that if hard drugs were illegal then society would collapse. But they're illegal now and everyone can still use them. So why not let the people who want to use them know what they're getting from a safe source? And a lot of violent crime. You'd also save millions on taxes because like 70% of people in jail/prison are non-violent drug offenders, not sure the exact stat but it's a lot. TLDR. You gain more by legalizing drugs than having them illegal. Sex work. Drugs, prescribed, quality control, monitored by your chosen health professional. Psychedelics like psilocybin mushrooms, LSD, and DMT. Having a duel with any rules including death if all parties agree. UK carrying a weapon for the sole purpose of self-defense or even just self-defense in general. As far as I'm concerned, if someone carries a machete or a handgun and only use it when necessary i.e. whilst being actively attacked, robbed, beaten, raped etc., then good on them, no. We should commend them. In the UK, if you get the better of your attacker with your bare fists and they have to go to hospital, you get charged with serious assault. In my dream world I should be able to drop kick him into next week and calm the police for an uplift. See if he thinks twice next time. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed this video and subscribe to never miss an upload.